Hello, I'm the Locomotive engineer. It's been a long time coming, but I've finally reached the fun stage on my NKP 190 history project, animation. Before jumping feet first into my full video, however, which, based on the narration that I've written and recorded, will be about 15 minutes long, I knew it was best to start small with a few animation tests. These ended up serving a number of different purposes. First, they helped me verify that all of my models were truly ready for their close-up. Up to this point, I'd seen a number of different blemishes and artifacts in the models that came out of the SketchUp to Blender export process. For still renders, this wasn't much of an issue, as I could simply pose the models strategically to avoid showing the problem areas, or else edit the blemishes out in GIMP. For animations, however, I knew that I needed to get the models fully cleaned up, so that I wasn't left with any errors that could show up in the final video and forever leave me cringing. Next, these test animations helped me to learn more about Blender and its render process. The most important lesson came after I'd spent several days rendering videos at an excruciatingly slow pace. Nearly 16 hours per 30 seconds of animation. I was a little puzzled, since my computer had a graphics card that was specifically optimized for rendering, but I just figured that it wasn't going to get any faster. After picking the brain of my family's resident computer expert, however, it was determined that Blender defaults to rendering from the CPU instead of the graphics card. Needless to say, things sped up significantly once that setting was changed. This just goes to show, however, that not all engineers are particularly computer savvy, despite the common myth that would suggest otherwise. Lastly, these animation tests helped me to try out some different animation techniques, and get a better sense of the timing and flow that I should aim for. In particular, I used the animations where I deconstructed the internal detail models to try out a few ideas about how to best show them off. Even as simplistic as they are, I really like each of these 360-degree turnarounds. It gives the models a sense of heft and volume that still renders don't quite achieve. There are definitely things to improve, and ideas to consider while I work on the full video, but it's little first steps like these that help provide motivation and encouragement along the way to the final result. After finishing all of the 360-degree spins, I wanted to do one more test animation before moving on to the full video. Using all of my models together, I decided to assemble a rough draft of what I'd like the final animation to look like. So I essentially made a quick 2-minute speed run of the general path that I intend for the full sequence to follow, without getting super detailed or too obsessed with the timing. There's no narration, and none of the supplemental text and labeling that I hope to add in the final video, but I think it still turned out pretty cool. To finish off this preview then, here's a condensed look at the history of NKP 190, from its Santa Fe days in 1948 all the way to 2024. If you like what you just saw and want to watch the full video when it comes out, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.